Alright, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another Warframe showcase video. Today we're going to be covering Xaku Prime. Just to give you a heads up, I haven't uploaded in a while because I've been sick. I am getting better. The reason I sound nasally is because I was better and then I ended up getting strep, which sucks. So if I sound a bit kind of like nasally is because of that. Well, yeah, anyways, we're going to be covering Xaku. He is the next in line for the Warframe showcase. He is the Warframe that I used during my old Peace playthrough, which if you want to check that out, highly recommend it. I think my reaction to a certain part was awesome. I think y'all would love it. So definitely check it out if you want some more content. You want to see how I play on that. And yeah, we're going to be going over his abilities. We are going to be showcasing them separately, showcasing them how they synergize. I'm gonna be going over that stuff right away, along with his stats, going over his passive and stuff. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, to start things off, Xaku, I am using his prime. So we're gonna compare his stats, like the base form, compared to the prime, and we're gonna move into his passive and stuff, right? So, base Xaku, his health stays the same. Oh my god, he just goes everywhere. He gets buffed. The prime is a lot better. Okay, nice. I didn't know that. So base Zaku has a base health of 269 at base. That doesn't change. His shields go up from 239 to 263. That's going to the prime. He goes from having 146 armor, goes up to 167 in shields for the prime. He goes from 160 in energy to 181 in the prime, and he goes from a sprint speed of 1.02 up to 1.07, so he goes up by 5 on that, by 0.05, which he's a lot faster, honestly, especially like in his fourth form, his ultimate, whatever. um Really good Warframe. Zaku's been a really fun Warframe. He's been really um he's someone I've been using a lot more often this past year. I've had a lot because I have now understood. I've never understood his kit until like recently, and I was like, no, like he's cool. He plays badass. So to start things off, is passive. I'm gonna go over it over here. It reduces 25% to AOE damage. So I guess, or any AOE attack. So like if enemies hit you like a napalm or a bombard, they deal 25% less damage to you. That's the way I interpret it. And you have a chance of avoiding weapon damage. So because this whole theme is being broken, there's a chance that you get shot and the damage won't even like affect you. So it's pretty good. I like it. It's really interesting passive. You can avoid damage. So there's that. And yeah, we're gonna go over his first ability now. So his first ability is unique to him and him alone, and it is what is called Zata's Whisper. And what it does, oh god, what it does is it adds voids damage to your weapon attacks, and only he can do it. So just keep that in mind. Um, and it increases your damage, if I'm not mistaken, because of the void damage. And the void effect, for those of you who don't know, so I'm just gonna show this right off right now. So I'm doing that amount of damage. If you can see the numbers, I add this. What the void effect does is it creates a bubble around the person, um, and the impact zone of where that void proc is. So if I were to hit this guy in the head, well, he died already. If I were to hit this person right there, he died already. But yeah, it increases your damage. You deal void damage. You see right there? A lot of it's based on status effects for that. One thing to note too is that this can be good in terms of sentience. Since he deals void damage, you can reset them and stuff. It's pretty cool stuff. Very useful. What was I gonna say? One thing to note about his first ability, it is on a duration, so he's gonna be someone you're gonna want to mod for with good amount of duration. I think duration and strength is what you want to go for. Kind of, if it's not a big deal to you. If you want to get the most of his abilities, so yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much what that does. Now to showcase a second ability is called Hey Kitty. And my cat's gonna be joining us here. So essentially what you're gonna do with the second ability is called Grasp of Luck. What you do is you point anywhere, and within a certain radius you're gonna strip enemy weapons away from them. And if I'm not mistaken, at base you can have like 8, and they will each target other enemies around you, kind of. So see what I can do. Oh, I have to go closer. So let's say I go here, activate it, and as you can see, they are targeting enemies. This does have a duration to it also, and it is very fun. It's a short duration, don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna get the most out of it, you can add duration to it. And the duration stuff isn't really gonna matter towards the end, but we'll get into that later. There's that. One thing to notice energy here is your second ability, like the weapons they benefit from Zata's Whisper. So if I were to do this, he has a unique dodge animation too. So if I were to do this, if you can just take a look at the numbers, you're dealing 1064, 1001, 1001, 1064. So you see the damages, right? So I'm gonna spawn him in again. I'm gonna activate my first and then hit my second ability. And now they're still dealing the same damage, but they're dealing void damage. It's hard to see it here, but they do deal void damage to enemies, believe it or not. So there's that. Now that's pretty much all there is to the third. It's a good way to kind of disarm enemies and protect yourself, and pretty cool. Now going on to your third ability, which has 3 different functions to it. We're gonna go over accuse, gaze, deny. Accuse, essentially what you do is you do a little void rupture, void fissure thing over here, which turns enemies within that area on your side. They are now friendly. They will attack other enemies, which, let me show you what's up. Turn unpause the AI. They start fighting each other. And do it again so you can see it. And then let me clear these guys out real quick. Right, so we cleared them out. Nope, there's one more missing. Right, so let me just stock up on this. So we went over accuse. We're gonna go on to. I'm gonna make myself invincible. I'm gonna do this. Gaze is really good ability. You essentially lock up an enemy and he creates a short ring. Anybody who steps in this ring gets their armor stripped by a certain percentage. You can get the most out of it by increasing your ability strength, and their armor strip is permanent. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It is on a short duration, but it's something you want to lock down an area, or any enemy that comes through it has like their armor strips. This is a good thing to do. It's a good way to lock down area, like to lock down a whole area. So yeah. Let me just knock all these guys out again. They're all out. Okay, so now we're gonna go over deny. We'll spawn these guys in. Deny, essentially what you do is enemies that are coming at you, you press the ability, you long press it, and you deal just a straight beam of damage. If I'm not mistaken, this does have an interaction with your first ability as well, I think. And those who survive obviously are levitated like that. And lifted enemies deal, they take more damage while they're in the air. So just keep that in mind. What's up, Kitty? My cat wants attention. Pobrecito. Come on, baby. Okay, and now to the fourth ability, which isn't gonna seem like much right away, but is actually really good for multiple reasons. So it's called Vast Untime, and this allows you to pause cooldowns. No, it allows you to pause the countdowns on your abilities. And obviously, if you're using your first, anybody that's suffering from void damage deals double damage or deals more damage to it. To enemies, and basically what you do is you shed your form. As you can see, like he is when he's dashing, he's leaving certain parts behind him. Essentially what you do is, let's say I want to cast it, do that, enemies are already affected by void damage, and you move around faster. You're a lot faster. I think you're a little bit more squishier, but you're harder to hit. And this is a good way to stop the countdowns on all your timers. If you want to cancel it, what you do is you just hold, you long press the 4 or your triangle or Y button with your whatever you use to cast that ability with. So for PlayStation, it's like R1 and triangle. You long press it and it'll cancel it. But if the time is running out, you can just recast it. So like, let's come, it's running out, you cast it again, and you'll be doing that. So yeah, and if you want to see what I'm talking about with the stuff with the cooldowns, I'm gonna cast all my abilities right now. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Oh, I can't do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. See, they're all counting down. Activate my fourth, and it stops all cooldowns, so you can essentially make your abilities last forever. One thing to note is, while you do cast it, you lose like a second in the countdown, like a second or two. So if you can watch the countdown down there, you do lose some time. So something to note. And casting this fourth is pretty good. It's a good way to keep your abilities up. It's a good way to not have to spam them as much. And yeah, we're gonna get into the build portion of this. I'm just gonna let all these run out. This is for beginners or people who just picked up Xaku. This is also gonna be for people who are before the new war. Those I consider who are like in the mid game. And yeah, if you see me running a prime or a set mod, well, hold on. Yeah, if you see me running a prime mod or a set mod or a corrupted mod, prime mods keep you off of Brocketeer. He comes up once every 2 weeks. The set mods are in Cetus, Deimos, and Fortuna. And then corrupted mods, you have to be part of a clan. You gotta build a corrupted Holokey, I think that's what it's called. And in demos, not in the cities, not in the open world, like in the actual planet, you gotta go run the derelict vaults, and you should be able to get them. If you get in the squad and each one of you takes a key, guaranteed y'all are gonna get a lot of mods. So yeah, it's really easy to get those mods. And yeah, so what I'm going to be doing also with this, I'm gonna make the build here for you guys, and I'm gonna run it in one of the missions that I want to run it in, and then I'm gonna showcase how this build performs. And we'll just, once before we do that, we'll touch over what I have built. It's not complete on my side, but you'll see what I'm going for later on. So yeah, so knowing what I know about Xaku, keeping this kind of like new to mid player friendly. This is just like a template. There's nothing meta. What are we gonna want to go for? So because I know he uses a lot of energy, I am gonna want to go with. And if you don't have it, you can go Dreamer's Bond. It's just not as effective but I'm gonna run Energy Siphon, so he has that passive energy regen. And going back to my abilities, how would I want to run him? I'm gonna throw on Prime Vigor for the health and shield. I'm gonna wanna throw on Prime Flow for more energy, continuity for more duration. What else do I want? I need something that's good for with this polarity. Um, and if you like I said, if you don't have the Prime versions, the base ones are just as good. So Vigor, continuity, flow, they're just as good. So don't get too beat up about it. Mm, no. Um. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what else to throw on here for him. Gladiator. Nope. Hmm. Okay, I guess this could be whatever you wanted to. I'm just gonna throw on Steel Fiber just cause it's just a placeholder mod. Um, and then from there, once we got that going on, I'm gonna wanna throw in Intensify for some strength. So we got energy, survival. We got strength, duration. I want to go into more power strength and throw in some range. So I'm gonna throw on. Where you at? I'm gonna want to throw in stretch for some range for the denial, the armor strip, and then I'm gonna throw on some transient fortitude. This is a corrupted mod that you can get from the vaults that I told you about. Sacrifice a little bit of duration, which I can offset real quick. Hmm. I think I can throw on what auger. Ooh, nah. Let me go check auger message, which should be a 7. Yeah, that'll offset that. And why is network not responding? I have no idea. See if I can put on a low mod for. No, we'll just run with that. We'll just run with that for now. This mod could be whatever you want it to be in utility. Obviously, I need to format him because I haven't formatted him. But this is roughly what you want to run. You have the range covered. You have strength. You have the duration. You can select on efficiency if you want because you are going to spam his abilities if you don't care too much about his fourth. But yeah, there's that. That's what you're going to roughly want to run. And so we're going to go into a mission. I'm going to show you how he plays. I'm going to take my Doge, which is going to be Hunter. And then to show you what I'm running with on like my stuff, like if you're past a new war, this is what I'm running. I am running continuity, flow, Umbro vitality, Umbro intensify, uh, range here, more strength. This is just a utility mod because I don't know what else to put up here. Oh, this is for my primary or something. And yeah, I need to form with him and do some other stuff, but that's what I'm running with here. I am running this so I can get a little bit more ability strength. The void damage does count as a unique status effect for me. And then more strength here, so there's that. But we're going to be running with the configuration I have set for you all, show you how it performs. And yeah, let's get right into it. Just let me swap into that footage right about now. Alright, so we are back here at my ship. For those of you who don't know, it is Warframe's 13th year anniversary. So if you don't have any of these stuff and you're a new player, definitely do these missions. You get some awesome skins, get a Noggle. This is for the higher end players. You get a Exilis weapon adapter. Every week, if I'm not mistaken, they're gonna be adding new missions. So if you already have these stuff, you don't have to do it. You can just do it for the credits if you want. Um, And yeah, there should be 13 unique missions that are going to be going throughout this time, and each one will provide a different cosmetic. So you got the Excalibur, you got the Excalibur Dex Noggle. I think next time it'll be the Dex Furious or the Dex Cybers, and so on and so forth. So yeah, definitely keep your eye out for these. Do these if you haven't done them, and more customization. So yeah. Now, what mission do we want to do here to show off Xaku's ability? Yeah, I'm thinking kind of a mobile defense. I think that's the best way to show off his usefulness, and I am thinking um a mobile defense on not on the void. No. Let's see if we can find a good mobile defense. Cause I want to do one. And by the way, I have Ozzy stuck in my head. If you want a good song to listen to, I think this is one of the last songs he played. Or he made. Look up "Gods of Rock and Roll" by Ozzy Osbourne. I think I'm not even joking. I think that's one of his last songs before he passed. So yeah, I have him stuck in my head. Uh, you know what? We'll just do a mobile defense here instead. Now why not? Where you at? Rescue this. Survival no. Mobile defense. Aha. So I am taking the build that I made for you guys to show you how he's gonna play. Um, and showcase my playstyle along with like my doge and see how it goes. So what you're gonna want to do immediately from like spawning in is you're just gonna want to cast your first ability just so you can have that increase in damage already. Once we start getting to the point when you have to like defend, that's when your third ability kind of comes in. Depends on your energy, which I'm gonna take care of right now. And yeah, now we just defend. Do this. Do this. I am being chased by someone. I don't know who or whom. And as you can see right now, I have like what 9 weapons. Go to gaze. For my third ability, I just like to go gaze. It's a good way to strip armor for enemies that are there. Right now, armor is stripped at, what does it look like? 90%, maybe? It's a good way to keep that up. I don't really use accuse unless I know I'm like really surrounded. You gotta be on top of your fourth ability, because if you are not, you're gonna run out of your stuff and you're gonna be like, damn, all that worked. I am, oh, just a heads up while you're watching this, because I am yapping in this part of the video. I am gonna make a huge update video. Hopefully have it out by Friday. I have some things that I want to talk to you about. I'm gonna get personal. Might not be on Warframe, it's gonna be on a different game, but still, definitely check it out. It's gonna be the first time I open up a lot about like what's been going on in my mind, and I'm gonna talk to you all about some things I have planned and what I'm gonna be doing up until September, because I got a lot of things planned. And yeah. And do this. Bruh, forgot to long press. Yeah, there's that. And what else can I talk about? Also, I hate being sick. Freaking sucks. Oh, I forgot to mention the freaking Void. Zata's Whisper is a good way to dealing with Eximus units. Since Void is a very strong way to knock out the Eximus thingies. The Overguard. Ow. Just note that while you are in his fourth form, in his skeleton form, that you are more susceptible to damage, so just be careful. You feel like you're gonna die, you're gonna explode, just cancel it and get the most out of your survivability.
Area completed. Move on.
What else? That's pretty much how you want to run him, honestly. You just want to go take people's weapons, keep your first up, manage your fourth. And if you're doing like a place where you gotta like defend, like a defense or something, you want to lock down certain areas, you can just run gaze. And oh god. And if you want to use your other third abilities, it's up to you. I'm not really, I just use gaze, honestly. That's all I use the third for. I just used accuse just to add some variety to how I'm playing. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's not a hard frame to get a hang of. Obviously, there's different ways you can mod them. I don't have any augments for Xaku, to be honest. I think his armor stripping. Did you just take my gun, you hoe? Oh god. Warrior, go away. And do this too. That's essentially what you want to do. Just lock down an area, make sure the enemies that walk through have their defenses permanently stripped, and yeah. For me, it took me a while because I didn't like understand his kit, so I didn't like pay him much attention. But like I said, over the past year, I got like more into him because I understood his abilities. Because he wasn't always like that. I think they changed him. So I wasn't a fan of how he played when he first came out. So I didn't care too much about like picking him up again. And once I got the Prime, I was leveling him up. I was like, oh, he's really good. And yeah, had a good time. Anyways, with that being said, if you enjoy today's Warframe showcase video, if you made it this far in the video, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. We are nearing the end of the showcase, so once I catch up with everything, I'm going to catch up on Warframes that I skipped. I think I skipped Grendel by accident. And then I'm going to be covering the new Warframe Foley once I'm caught up with all the Warframes. And then after that, I'm going to be making a Warframe showcase for every new Warframe that comes out when I unlock them, obviously in my own time. So just keep that in mind. I do plan on working on that video that I spoke to you about, like an update video, which is going to be super personal, come Friday, so be ready for that. And if you want to see more Warframe content, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think of Xaku. Is he someone you're interested in picking up? Let me know what's up. Be safe, love you all, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.